stars at night are big and bright. Deep in the heart.
Hello, Genevieve. How are you?
Good morning.
At dailysignal.com, heritage.org, at Genevieve Wood. Again, it's like, all right, so the guy's got a farewell speech. You're trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. You're like, okay, whatever. He's got 8 years behind him. I'm sure his people are happy and he's happy. And then he lays this stuff on us.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's one thing, when he began his speech and ticking off all these accomplishments, some of which I didn't agree with. The amnesty that he put forward, the marriage equality that the courts pushed through. I mean, all these things that he talked about. But then he went, as you said, beyond things that I just disagree with to like talking about things that just aren't reality. I mean, on the terrorist threats, when there's been over 90 either attacks or plots against the U.S. since 9/11. Most of those have happened on his watch. Have they all happened on our soil? No, but they have increased in terms of plotting against us and attacking us. And if you ask most Americans, do you feel safer from terrorism today than you did 8 years ago when Barack Obama came into office? I'd have to bet that most Americans wouldn't say they feel safer, that they don't think the world feels safer today after he's been in office for 8 years. So, I mean, it's on a reality that he's living in, or that he wants to ignore it. That's the true reality.
Well, and the fact that no foreign entity has planned and executed an attack is, in my opinion, only by the grace of God and our intelligence and law enforcement community. It certainly is in spite of President Obama and his foreign policy, which has created more terrorism abroad, has created a hotbed of new terrorist cells that have grown in Libya and beyond. And so, thank goodness, but it's not him.
Right. And Jamie, I mean, ISIS part of their strategy is to develop these lone wolves, is to radicalize people. And they've done that via the internet and their websites and all this garbage, these videos they produce. So, if he wants to pretend that San Bernardino and Orlando and all these other things are just isolated incidents that ISIS had nothing to do with, again, I just don't think he's living in reality. Yeah, they may not have come across over here and done it themselves, but they radicalized people in this country and inspired those attacks, and we haven't stopped that kind of thing. So, for him to claim that it's an accomplishment, I think is a real stretch. And frankly, most of the time last night, I felt like he talked like he was somebody who was running for office as opposed to somebody who had actually been in office for 8 years.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like he kept talking about, we got to do this and we got to do that. I'm like, well, what have you been doing?
Right. Well, that is absolutely true. It's interesting, too, that it took a lot of you-know-whats for him to announce that there had been no foreign attacks and then proceed to list terrorist attacks that have happened in the U.S., not even apparently realizing that a lot of us listening to that and watching that are thinking, well, wait a minute, though. You can link these attacks to radicalization. So it's an amazing amount of hubris for him. If I was President Obama, I would just leave the whole line about, no terrorist attack on that has been planned and executed and just stop right there. But he keeps going and lists terrorist attacks.
Right. No, look, if there's anything you can say this president is very good at, it's hubris.
Yeah.
It's very good at, thinking I'm so much smarter and understand the world better than anybody. You could say the same thing on race relations. He goes off talking about, how race relations are better than they were 20 years, 30 years ago. Okay, yeah, I think most of us would probably maybe agree with, but not in the past 8 years. Why does he want to bring that up? Does he want to go through and talk about Baltimore and Ferguson? To me, those are things just shows that, again, at least his version of what success looks like in certain things, fighting terrorism, improving race relations in this country, his version and judgment for success is very different than what mine is. And frankly, I would say on just the accomplishments across the board, if most Americans agreed with him, Hillary Clinton would be president today. If his accomplishments over the past 8 years were so great, Democrats would not have lost Congress. Democrats would not have lost elected offices up and down, state ballots, governorships all over the country. So apparently what he considers accomplishments, a good chunk of Americans don't, because he got a grade back in November, and it was called Donald Trump won the presidency. So I think that says a lot about what his list of accomplishments are based on what the American people think.
Yeah, and again, you want to be able to say to give the guy a break, in terms of the farewell speech or whatever it happens to be, and you want to be able to say, yeah, because up until a couple of those points, I was, basically just like, yeah, this is just him. I mean, I get it. He has a certain.
Yeah, you may not agree with you may not like some of the accomplishments, quote unquote, but
yeah.
you agree that they pass and that they happen. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's got his point of view, and I get it. I don't believe he hates the country or anything like that. I try to tell people even from the very beginning of his presidency that don't misread him. He basically, I don't agree that Barack Obama disdains the USA or whatever. He's got a point of view. I mean, that's what it is. But then he pulls that stuff. I'm thinking, man, you don't have to, I wish you didn't go there.
Well, look, and keep in mind, he's probably going to be around for some time. I mean, he and the family are going to stay in Washington after he leaves office because I think his youngest daughter has about 2 years left in high school, so they're going to stay in Washington. The Democrats don't have an apparent heir right now. And Barack Obama is a pretty good speaker, and the press, the media loves him. So I think, unlike President George W. Bush and other past presidents who've kind of, given the new administration breathing room and don't comment on everything, I expect you're going to see him out there a lot. You're going to see him critiquing. You're going to see him punching at Donald Trump's administration and the new Congress. I think Trump's ready for that, but I think you're going to see more of it.
It was also the first time in 8 years he's ever mentioned me. So I was surprised.
I missed that.
The middle-aged white dude. The middle-aged white guy part of his speech. Did you? That was like, wait a minute, that's the first time I think he's ever included me in his America. I'm amazed.
At least not disparagingly. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Right, exactly. I was like, wow.
Yeah,
well,
but again, that's again like, well, where was that advice, Mr. President, for the past 8 years?
Oh, I know.
Where was that advice to all the people who were running in your party in the last election cycle? Where was that then?
Yeah, I know, and I'll get to that on the other side of this break when I got to break it all down. But Genevieve Wood, thanks so much. Really appreciate you as always. At Genevieve Wood, DailySignal.com, and thank you as well. Coming up, I'm going to follow up on that because that was an interesting moment.
Like, really? Me?
I felt like he was coming through the TV and patting me on the head. His little white pet. 969-9797, 866-455-9797.
Jerry